Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose, is a spiritual manifesto that serves as a follow-up to his masterpiece, The Power of Now. While his first book focused on the individual's ability to enter the present moment, A New Earth expands that vision to the collective, arguing that a shift in human consciousness is no longer a luxury, but a necessity for the survival of our species. The book is built on the premise that the human ego is a collective dysfunction, a form of insanity that creates suffering, conflict, and environmental destruction. To create a new Earth, we must move beyond this egoic state of mind and align ourselves with the intelligence of the universe. The flowering of human consciousness. Tolle begins by using the metaphor of a flower. For millions of years, plants existed as mere greenery before the first flower appeared. This was a monumental shift in evolution. Similarly, human consciousness is currently undergoing its own flowering, a shift from a mind-dominated existence to a state of pure being. The necessity of change. Throughout history, religions have attempted to point toward this awakening, calling it enlightenment, salvation, or the kingdom of heaven. However, Tolle argues that these teachings often became distorted by the very ego they were trying to transcend. Today, because of our technological power to destroy the planet, the urgency for this internal shift has reached a critical point. 2. The ego. The current state of humanity. The ego is the primary obstacle to awakening. Tolle defines the ego as the false self, the mental image we have of who we are. 1. Identification with form. The ego survives by identifying with forms. This includes possessions, the belief that I am what I own. Body, identification with physical appearance or athletic ability. Thought forms, identification with opinions, beliefs, and memories. Roles, identifying as a mother, a doctor, or a victim. When you identify with form, you are always in a state of wanting or not enough, because forms are temporary and fragile. This creates a constant underlying sense of anxiety. 2. The illusion of mine and more. The ego thrives on comparison. It feels stronger when it has more than others, or when it is right and others are wrong. This is why people get so offended during arguments. For the ego, a challenge to an opinion is perceived as a threat to its very survival. 3. The pain body. The shadow of the ego. One of Tolle's most significant contributions in this book is the concept of the pain body. What is the pain body? The pain body is an accumulation of old emotional pain. It is a semi-autonomous energy form that lives within most humans. It feeds on negative thinking and emotional drama, active versus dormant. Most of the time, the pain body is dormant. However, a small event, a critical remark, or a minor setback can trigger it, feeding the pain body. When the pain body is active, it wants to create more pain. You might find yourself picking a fight with a loved one, or spiraling into depression. In that moment, you want the negativity, because the pain body is using your mind to sustain itself. How to dissolve it. The key to dissolving the pain body is presence. When you recognize the pain body as it arises, you break the identification with it. You become the watcher. Once you observe the pain without judging it, it can no longer control your actions or thoughts. Breaking free. The shift in consciousness. Awakening is not something you do. It is something that happens when you stop interfering with the present moment. 1. Acceptance, enjoyment, and enthusiasm. Tolle outlines 3 modalities of awakened doing. If you are not in one of these 3 states, you are creating suffering for yourself and others. Acceptance. If you cannot enjoy a task, at least accept that it must be done. This brings a sense of peace to the action. Enjoyment. This occurs when you are fully present in what you are doing, and the joy of being flows into your work. Enthusiasm. This is enjoyment plus a goal. It is the highest frequency of action, where the universe's creative power flows through you. 2. The power of now. The ego lives in the past, identity, and the future, fulfillment. The only place where the ego cannot exist is the now. By bringing your attention to the present moment, the sensation of your breath, the feeling of your inner body, or the sights and sounds around you, you bypass the egoic mind. Versus inner purpose. versus outer purpose. Tolle clarifies the confusion many people have about their life's purpose. Inner purpose. This is the primary purpose for every human being. It is to awaken. It is to stay present and aligned with the isness of life. Outer purpose. This is what you do in the world, your career, your goals, and your achievements. Tolle warns that if your outer purpose is not aligned with your inner purpose, you will never be satisfied. No matter how much you achieve, the ego will eventually find a reason to be unhappy. However, when your outer purpose is infused with the presence of your inner purpose, your work becomes a blessing to the world. Sick. The new earth, a state of grace. The new earth is not a physical place we travel to. It is a reality that is born from a transformed human consciousness, non-reaction, and forgiveness. On a new earth, humans will no longer be reactive. When someone acts unconsciously, an awakened person sees the ego at work and does not take it personally. This is true forgiveness. It is the realization that the wrongdoing was a result of the other person's identification with their mind. Abundance. Abundance is not something you get. It is something you tune into. When you are grateful for the present moment, you realize that the source of all abundance is within you. The more you are aligned with being, the more the doing and having take care of themselves. 7. Conclusion. The evolutionary impulse. We are at a crossroads. The old egoic consciousness is becoming increasingly destructive. The new earth is the next step in human evolution. It is a world where action is motivated by joy, not fear or lack. Human relationships are based on presence, not role-playing. We recognize the shared I am in every living being. Final summary checklist. 1. Recognize the ego. Notice when you are identifying with roles, possessions, or being right. 2. Watch the pain body. Become the observer of your negative emotions. 3. Enter the now. Use the breath and the inner body to stay present. 4. Align inner and outer purpose. Let your primary goal be your state of consciousness. 5. Choose acceptance. If you can't enjoy a moment, accept it fully. As Tolle concludes, a new earth starts with you. When you move beyond the ego, you become a portal through which the light of consciousness enters this world.